Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about the ideal method to put on strength and size, whether it's to do lightweight for more reps or heavyweight for lower reps. I'm going to start with the famous quote by Ronnie Coleman: "Everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but nobody want to lift them heavy-ass weights." And I think that's something that I think is, sorry, the police officer right there, that's just total truth right there. That, you know, if you want to put on strength and size, you want to be a bodybuilder, you got to increase your strength. You got to lift some heavy ass weights. And but that being said, you know, obviously it's not every set you're going to be doing that. Some sets you're going to be lifting some light weights, lightweight baby. But other times you're going to lift enough of the Ronnie Coleman impressions. Sometimes you're going to lift some heavy weights. And that's going to be the key for real strength and growth, okay? And I'm going to start by this. A lot of pro bodybuilders, they didn't start by being bodybuilders. They started in their teens by being like football players and strength athletes, including Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman, I think he had a bit of a late start in the bodybuilding game. You know, it's not like these days where, you know, people are kind of groomed into the bodybuilding game. Like some people back in the day, that wasn't until their 20s, and then they became the pros, right? So the thing is, so a lot of them started off by being strength training, okay? So they were lifting some heavy ass weight, and that's how they grew in strength and size. Sorry, I think I got another cop behind me, so I got to keep the light off for this one because I don't want some police officer to pull me over for some bullshit right now, right? So that's going to be the whole premise of my video, that to get strength and size, you're going to have to lift some heavy ass weights. Now, how do you do that? How do you go about doing that? Every set, are you just going to go like max out or something? Obviously not, right? Obviously not. Do you think Ronnie Coleman every set was lifting like his max, whatever his max was? Obviously not. It was like, you see a few of his videos, and you know, he only did that a few times throughout his career. So, but the thing is though, here, I can turn this light back on, I think. One sec. Yeah, the thing is though, Ronnie Coleman, he definitely lifts some heavy ass weights to gain his strength and size, okay? And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's a difference between true strength athletes and bodybuilders, like as far as the muscle denseness goes. Like when you look at muscle of go look at this right now, Chinese powerlifters who are lifting a ridiculous amount of weight over their heads, right? Over their heads. They are jacked as a motherfucker, but there's a certain hardness muscle to that. Just like Ronnie Coleman, you can see his muscles, there's a hardness to that, okay? He's a strong ass motherfucker. Meanwhile, guys like Jay Cutler, even though he looked good, like aesthetically, and he was built he had a great build to him, you can tell that's not the guy who was going to be, you know, maxing out all the time and whatnot. But hey, I can't speak for him. To be honest, I don't know much about him, but I guaranteed he's doing more reps, right? It was more bubbly. It was more like fluid-filled muscles. He was more 3D, like bubbly look to him. So it's not hard. He didn't have that hardness that you see from like a real strength athlete. Okay. Now I don't know what your goals are, but for me, I'm kind of like in between, right? And to speak upon Ronnie Coleman again, I watched his training videos and I've listened to his philosophy, and he was doing sets where it was very much mid-range, so it wasn't like full. He wasn't fully locking out or extending. It was just kind of like, say he's bench pressing, you just keep it mid-range, and it was just up and down, no pause, whatever, just to pump his muscles up. So I knew he was doing reps of those that weren't necessarily heavy weight, but at the same time, he was definitely lifting heavy weight as well, 100%. And that's what his background was. That's what his base is. And I think that's what a lot of people who are novices / intermediate need to work on, because they need to get a good foundation of strength before they start going into taking advice from people like Jay Cutler or bodybuilders who are like No, you just need to do a bunch of high volume of low weight. Yeah, low weight to them is going to be like heavy for you, first of all. And second of all, they've already got the foundation of the strength and size. And third of all, I guarantee they are throwing heavy days in there. They're just not telling you. And fourth of all, they're doing lots of steroids and eating a ton of food. So that's pretty much it. Like, as far as things go, like, strength and size go hand in hand. There's no question about that. You're not gonna put on a huge amount of size by just repping out 30 pounds on a bench press for 50 reps. Sure, you might do a finisher that's like a low weight, high reps, but you're not going to gain size. 100% not. So what is my strategy on how to gain size through strength? Okay, so first of all, you do the volumes. Okay, you do what I was saying Ronnie Coleman did, which is just mid-range rep out. So for example, if you're doing dips, you don't always have to lock out. You can just keep that mid-range, just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down for like 20 to 30 reps, right? But here's the thing, once in a while, you throw a heavy set in there. So if you're on the bench press machine and you're doing the same thing, like where you're doing 12, 15 reps, once in a while you just stack some weight on it, you just do a single or a triple or a 5x5 or something once in a while. You don't have to do it all the time, but once in a while you just throw that on there. And what that's going to do is it's going to create something called muscle recruitment, okay? Muscle recruitment is going to be the key to growing strength and size. Because the more muscles you recruit in doing a movement, the more muscles you activate in doing a push or a pull, means that you're recruiting more muscles, which means that you're going to be growing more muscles, which means you're conditioning more muscles to be doing more work, and that's going to be the key, because when you translate that into doing more reps, those muscles that you're recruiting are going to translate to the lower reps, higher reps, okay, in your sets. Lower weight. So that's pretty much the whole premise of my video. I think Ronnie Coleman was dead on where you gotta lift heavy. You have to. But the other caveat of this all is that you can't be injuring yourself. You can't be snapping shit up. You gotta work with your limits. It's not like you're maxing out. Like right now, my bench press max is probably 285, 290 pounds. I'm not gonna go to the gym tomorrow and bench press. I'm not gonna bench press 290 pounds. I'm gonna bench press like 250 pounds, 260 pounds for free abs, right? For me, that's the heavy weight. So, and then if I was doing more reps, it'd be like 180 to 200 pounds, right? For more reps, 10 reps or so. So it's like, change it up a bit. There's no right or wrong. Hit lightweight, baby. Hit them heavy weight, baby. And that's what's gonna take for you to grow in strength and size. I guarantee it. Why listen to me? Because I've done it. I put on more strength and size in 4-5 months. Guarantee that it's even possible to anyone to do. I've done it before. Even though I'm not like a huge bodybuilder or whatever. Like I went from like hammer curling like 150 pounds for 10 reps max to like over 200 pounds in like a matter of 4 months. Just like 220 pounds hammer curling in like 4 months. Like that the degree of strength curve shows you something. And that it's not like I'm trying to impress you guys, because I know some of you guys can do way more, but I know a lot of guys who are in that beginner intermediate stage should listen to my advice, because that's what's going to increase your strength and size curve way more. You got to put on, you got to lift heavy weights, baby. I'm telling you. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave in the comment section below what your thoughts are. Love y'all. Peace.